Good morning, students. Today we are going to see a topic, and the topic is going to be how to implement Stack using our linked list concept. Okay, so yesterday we saw the array implementation of Stack, and we saw the one of the application of Stack, how to balance the branches. So today we'll be seeing how to implement a Stack using our linked list concept. Fine. So we have a drawback in array. So that is what we are choosing this list concept. Okay. So the main drawback will be the memory concept. Okay. So the list will be handling a dynamic memory allocation. So for that purpose, I'll be using this list. Fine. So we'll get inside the topic of the linked list. You know. The concept of list, so how the list will be. Anyway, I'll be giving you a quick review of how this list appears actually. This is what the diagram I have chosen here. Since I'm using a stack here, so I'll be having the operation like a push operation, pop operation, top, and is empty of operations. These are the four operations I'll be doing for stack. Fine. So I'm going to use this stack. I'm going to implement this stack using my linked list concept. Fine. So this diagram, 1 second is. Yeah, this diagram is showing you the representation of my list. We'll be having a term called as node. Fine. So we have two parts inside the node. One will be the data part and another will be the address part. Fine. So this is what the address part, it holds the address of the next node, so it keeps on going like that. Okay, so my node will be pointing to a head pointer variable. Okay, this head pointer will be having the address of my first node. This is what the representation of a linked list. Okay, and my last node will be having an address called as null. Fine. So this is what the representation of a linked list actually. Fine. So next we will see some operations. So you have covered the topic like inserting a node, deleting a node, searching a node and all. Okay. I will take only two things here. Okay, insert and delete. Okay, so I can perform the insertion or deletion wherever in my list. Fine. I can able to insert the element at the beginning or at the end or at the middle, as well as I can delete an element at the beginning, at the end, as well as in the middle. Fine. So since I'm having a stack concept, I have to make one thing sure, because stack is having only one opening. I can able to insert a data or delete a data only at the top end of my stack, only at one end of my stack. Okay, so now I'm going to make a little comparison. Okay, so I'm taking only two operations, insert or delete, like push or a pop operation. Okay, I'm going to make a comparison whether it suits to insert or delete at the end or at the beginning, which is going to be feasible for me. That is what I'm going to check now. Fine. So I'll take the first one. So insert at the end. If I'm going to trying to insert at the end, what will happen actually? Okay, whether it is easy for us to insert at the end or not. That is what we are going to see now. You can see I'm inserting a new node. The node is actually have a data 3. Fine. Okay, since I'm going to insert at the last, I'll make the address as 0. Okay, so this particular node is having an address. That address will be pointing to this particular node. Okay, this makes a link actually. Fine. So this concept of making this link and removing the link and all. I'm just showing a diagrammatic view of insertion. That's all. I didn't go for any logic or programming coding here. Fine. So I'm trying to insert at the end. So when I'm trying to insert at the end of my list, what happens is I have to make a traversal from the starting. I have to go to the first node, then the second node, then the third node, then I have to undergo this operation. Okay, so this happens when I'm going to insert at the end. Fine. So I'm trying to delete at the end. What happens? Okay, for deleting the same process, this is my last node actually. So I have to start my traversing from my first node. So I have to reach the first node, second node, then I have to reach my last node's previous node. Okay, and that particular node I have to make my address as 0, and obviously this goes to null, and this link will be deleted. Fine. This is what deleting a node at the end. Okay. So now we will see the complexity of deleting the or inserting a node at the end. Okay. So what happens in both inserting a data or deleting a node at the end makes me to traverse all the nodes. Okay. So what happens here is my complexities goes like order of n. Okay. It takes a higher complexity. Fine. For overcome this, I will try to insert or delete at the beginning. Okay, so now I'm trying to insert my data. This is my new node. Okay, I'm trying to insert at the beginning. Beginning in the sense before your first node. Fine. So for doing it, what I'll be doing actually, so I'll make this link, discard this link. Okay, I will put this address of my first node to my new node. Okay, this node will be having an address that will be going inside my head. So I'll be getting a link like this. That is what's shown here, and this link will be discarded. Fine. This is a way I'll be inserting a node at the beginning of my list. Fine. So here I no need to traverse so many nodes. Just I can just create it. I can just make a link between the head and the first node. Fine. So here I'll be having a complexity like order of 1. Fine. Next one. If I try to delete a node at the delete my beginning of my node, see I can see what happens here. Fine. So this is what my first node. I'm trying to delete it. Okay, I can just make what I can make actually. I can put this this node's address into my head. Okay, so this particular link will be discarded, and this link will be shown like this. You can see here I'm just discarding this first node. Okay, just changing this address alone, it's enough. It's fine. So both for inserting a node at the beginning or deleting a node at the beginning gives me a very less complexity. I'll call this as a order of 1. Okay, when I'm trying to insert or delete at the end of my list, what happens? My complexity increases. Okay, so like in a stack, I'll be having a push or a pop operation. Both is going to have a constant time. That is going to both is going to have a complexity like order of 1 alone. Okay, I can able to only insert a one element at a time, or I can able to delete only one item at a time. So my order of complexity will be this O of n actually. It's a least one. Okay, so I will choose to delete or insert an element only at the beginning of my list, not at the end. Fine. So this is what your current list. Now what I will do is I'm trying to change this head as a top for easy understanding. Okay, now this is my top, and assume this is going to be a list. It's going to be a stack. The stack is having some 3 datas are there inside my stack. Okay, this top is holding the address of my first node. Fine. I can able to, since we have an concept of stack, only I can able to insert or delete what at only one end. So only I'll be adding or deleting only this at this particular end. That is what my top. Fine. So I have taught you the list concept. Okay, why I'm choosing this insertion or deletion at the beginning of my list, not at the end. Okay, not at the tail. Fine. So now we will see the programming concept of how to write a code. Okay, using this linked concept, how to write a code for my push operation and my pop operation. Okay, I won't be using insert or delete. I'll be using push or pop operation for my stack. Here you can see an I think you have been seen this code and all in your linked list. Anyway, I'll tell you once again. Here I'm trying to create a node. My node is going to be of a type called a struct. Okay, since I'm having two divisions in my node, one will be the data. So I'm handling an integer. So I mentioned it is integer data, and another one is going to be a link. The link is going to be a type called as pointer. So I gave it as node star. Fine. So this particular term will be creating a for creating a node. I'm giving a type of it. My node will be of this type actually. Fine. And next one, I'm creating a pointer temporary variable. Actually, we called it as a top. Okay, I'm putting this top as null initially because I won't be having anything inside my stack. So my top will be null. Fine. So since I'm using a star, this represents like it's a pointer variable. Fine. And my next one, now I'm going to perform a push operation. I'm trying to put the first data inside my stack. Okay, for doing it, I'm having some process for because I'm using a linked list. For an array, you can you can increment the top value, top index. I can just put the values, but in a linked list, I have to create a node first. Okay, then I have to match the data and the address of this particular node. Okay, so we will see the first word in my push. So I'm using a function called as void push of this index is no, I'm passing an variable, an argument for my push. Okay, now I'm trying to create a node. For creating a node, this particular thing is used. You know, we have seen so many dynamic memory allocation strategies like mloc, realloc, cloc, so many things. Okay, so I'll be using an mloc here. Okay, so here I'm going to create a memory. Okay, create a node. It's going to be a dynamic memory. Fine. So for creating this, I'll be using an mloc. I'm creating a node in my memory. Okay, so since I mentioned here, it should be a struct type. Okay, struct in the sense it be having two things, a data and a address. Okay, and I'm pointing this to a temporary pointer variable. That is what my temp. Okay, so now this temp will be holding the address of this particular node. So this node is having an address. Assume this node is going to have an address 100. This temp will be having an address 100. Okay, so for this particular process, I'll be using a single line of this. Okay, I'm creating a node in my memory using my mloc of a type struct. Okay, then I'm pointing this node to a temporary pointer variable tmp. Okay, since it's a pointer, I'm using a star node here. I hope it's clear for you. Yes, then I'm trying to put the data. Okay, I'm going to perform push of 2. Okay, so here 2 is my data here. So I'm trying to push the data here. Fine. So how to push it? So this is what I'll be doing it. You can see my next line. My next line is temp. I can also use like this also, like star, because star is a pointer variable, star temp dot data. I can't able to write it properly. I'm writing here, right? Star temp temp dot data equal to x. I can also write like this. Okay, so we have a standard way of using this using this list using this a symbol, this arrow symbol. Fine. So this is a temp is a pointer variable which is going to dereference the values. For this, I'm using this arrow. It's going to have a dereferencing pointer variable. Okay. So here I'm using temp of data. So temp's data will be having a value called as 2. That is what my first line. Okay. In my second line is I'm going to put the temp of link. I can have so many terms for representing my address, like link, next, address, whatever might be. So I'm having a term called as link here. So temp of link is equal to top. So what's the meaning of this actually? This is going to give a, since I'm having a top is going to have a value called as 0. Okay, so I'm going to put this top 0, null is nothing but a 0 into my temp of link. That is what this second line represents. Okay, and the last one is I'm creating this link. I created this link. Okay, now I need to create a one more link. So what I'm doing here actually, so I need to put the address for my top. Okay, so I'm putting this temp address as my top. So you can see the next diagram here. See, I discarded this link. Okay, for creating this link, I'm using this last syntax. Top is equal temp. So temp's address will be inside this top. Okay, so this is what at the end. Okay, I'm inserting a node at my beginning, at my starting of my stack. Okay, so for doing this, I have used 3 lines of code inside my push operation. Okay, I created a node, and I pointed a temporary variable for my node to make the values accessed. I created this temporary variable. Okay, so using temp arrow data and temp arrow link, I created values inside my node. Okay, then I removed this link using this top equal to temp. Okay, this is what done when this is what the inserting a node at the beginning of your list. Okay, so I'm having only one node, only one data in my stack now. Fine. Next again I'm trying to push one more data, so where it will be pushed only at the starting of my list. Okay, so as I said, we are going to insert or delete only at the beginning of my list for my stack. So I'm going to insert before between the top and my first node. Okay, so again I'll be performing this 3 concepts. I'm creating a node called node here. Okay, so I'm putting a data 5. Fine. So and I'm having a, so this will be pointing to a temporary pointer variable. Fine. So this will be having an address. I think it's going to have an address 250. It's going to have address. So this will be this particular node's address. Fine. So 250. So using this 3 lines of code, I'm making a link here. Okay, I'll go for the next slide. So you can see here clearly what I made here. I put the data inside my new node. Okay, I created a link, and what I did here is, before my top value is 100 here, so I just moved this 100 to here. Okay, to my temp of link. So what happens now, my top will be having an empty box. So now I'll be putting this temp address to my top. So I got a link here. Fine. So this is a way I have to perform my push operation for my stack using this linked list concept. Fine. So next I'll try to yeah, finally this is what it looks like this. Okay, you can see first node address is going to be inside this top. Okay, and it goes on consecutively. Fine. So, and one thing we have to be clear, like in linked list, we won't be having a continuous memory location as like your array. Okay, your memory will be there, but it won't be in a your node will not be in a continuous way. Each one will be holding a different memory blocks. Fine. So next one is how to pop the value. Okay, again, if I want to pop, only I'll be popping the value from the starting of my stack, not at the beginning. So I'll be removing only this data now. Fine. So what happens actually, since I'm going to give a pop off, so what happens, you can see this is what the concept of pop. Okay, so here I'm trying to create a temporary variable. Okay, I'm going to pop a node, so I no need to create a node there. Okay, so since I need to pop this, I'll create a temporary, and this is going to point this particular first node. Okay, here I'm making a check condition, like if my top is equal to null, just comes out. Okay, if my top is null, I can't able to pop anything. Okay, so then I have to just return from my process. Otherwise, what I have to do, so my first line is temp equal to top. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting my top address to my temp. Okay, this makes a link. Okay, I'm just creating a temporary to making a link like this. I'm giving this particular first line, temp equal to top. Fine. For what is the next one? Next one is top is equal to top of link. Okay. So what I will do actually, I can also write like this, top is equal to temp of link. Okay. So I'm having a temp link like 100. Okay. I'm putting this temp link value to my top. Okay, so this, what is this temp link value? This will be the address of my next node. Okay, I am putting the address of this particular node to my top. So this link will be discarded now. Okay, and then I'm just freeing this temp. That is what happened here. Okay, so this data will, this node will be removed. Fine. So I'm getting a direct access from top to my first node, my second node. My first node has been removed. So this is a process of popping an data from a list using this stack. Okay, we have just 3 lines of say statements, a logic for each and everything, for push as well as the pop. Fine. So that's all about the linked list implementation using the stack. Okay, I'm just implementing the stack using my linked list. So I've not written full code here. I have just written the routines for my pop and the push actually. Okay, so you try to complete this program. You have to create a main function. You have to print all those things. You have to see what happens. Okay, you can just give a try because it's very easy since I've given the logic for you in a very clear way. Fine. So next we will get inside the topic called as infix, postfix, and prefix. Okay, this is also an application of my stack. Fine. So I think till now your linked list implementation is clear. If it is clear, just give me an okay reply in your chat. I will continue for my next process, next slide. Otherwise, I'll just clear your doubts and I'll just go. Yeah, it's clear. Okay, then. Fine, guys. Fine. Thank you. So I'll go for my next slide. Okay, my next slide is nothing but the application of my stack. Okay, so we have three. We are having 3 types like infix, postfix, and prefix. Okay, first you will see the how our expression looks like. You know, our expression will be looking like a 2 plus 3. We have a format like this: an operator, and comes the operand. Okay, so since I'm having an example like 2 plus 3, I will call this 2 and 3 as an operand, and plus is an operator here, as well as a and b is called as an operand, and minus is an operator here. The same like this. I'm using a bracket here. If I'm going to use a bracket, I will say my expression is going to be in a controlled way. Okay, it's easier for us to access the data if you're going to have a bracket. So it's the same meaning only. So p star 2, p is an operand and 2 is an operand and star is my operator. Okay, so this is what a meaning of an expression. Okay, fine. Next we will see how our infix looks like. Okay, so we don't have that much a greater change of infix because always I'll be having an operator at the middle, and then at both the ends I'll be having an operand. I will call this as a infix. Okay, so you can see in one more example at the last 2 here, and now this is my operator. I'm sorry, operand. The whole expression will act as an operand. Okay, and this is star is an operator and 4 is another operand. Okay, same like for this also, the whole expression will be acting as an operand. Okay, this is an operator, and again I'm giving an r plus s in a bracket. This act as an operand. Okay, so what the point here is, my expression can be an operand also here. Okay, not like my 2 3 only will be the operand. The whole expression is also an operand. Fine. So this is a notation of infix. We will see how to evaluate the infixed expressions. It's very easier. Okay, you know, we have learned the order of operations before and all. So if you're going to perform an evaluation, we have to follow the order of the operation. That is what the priority of the operation, which comes first. Okay, so we know we'll be having these parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction. We have more and more operators. Okay, I'm just taking only the main things. Fine. So we have a rule called as like left to right and right to left. We call this as an associativity rule. Okay, based upon addition and subtraction will be happened only from left to right, from here to here. this side, okay, and multiplication division again from left to right. Exponent will be from right to left, okay, and I'll be having a brackets, okay. The priority will be given to the brackets first, okay, then the exponents, then the multiplication division has an equal priority, and then comes the addition and subtraction. This again is going to have an equal priority, okay. You can see an example here, like 2 plus 3, I'm having only one operator and two operands, so it's going to be answer is going to be 5, okay. Now I'm having 4 plus 6 plus 2. I'm going to follow the order of operation here. So first my multiplication comes, then comes my division. For this multiplication, this is my operand and this is my operand. So 6 into 2, 12. For addition, 4 is my operand and 12 is my operand. So I'm getting an answer 16. Fine. So next one is 2 star 6, and I'm having so many operators here, okay. So I have said that multiplication and division will be having an equal priority. First I'll go for 2 star 6, okay. I'll be getting an answer. That answer will be going along with divided by 2, okay. Then I can perform this, that output will be going along with 3. Again I'll be getting an answer that will be going along with this plus 7. Fine. So this is what this does. The same example, but I given in a bracket, okay. So this bracket will make you to do the operation in a very clear way actually. So again I'll be doing this, okay. I'll be getting an answer, dividing that answer by 2. Fine. So then I'll be performing 3 plus 7. So this answer and this answer will be minus. Fine. So just work it out and see all those things and all. So I'm doing a infix expression here. Fine. And doing an evaluation here. So we know about infix in a greater way. So I'm not going to touch this infix now. Fine. I'm going to see this prefix. Okay. So how this prefix looks, we also call this as a Polish notation. And another name for prefix is called as a Polish notation. You can see an operator. Okay, the syntax, the format itself has been changed. Okay, I'll be having an operator first, and then comes my two operands. But that is not the case of your infix. Okay, so we can see I'm writing a code in infix. I'm trying to change this expression into a prefix. Okay, since I'm having a plus here, we have a syntax like first your operator should come. So plus 2 3, that is what your prefix notation. Again p minus q, my operator is going to be minus, so minus p and q. I'm making a prefix, means bringing your operator to the front. Okay, then a plus b star c. Okay, here I will follow the rule first. Actually, what is the rule here? I'm having a plus and a star. Okay, star is going to have a higher priority. Then first I will write it as star, my operator, then my operands b and c. Okay, left out is a plus. Okay, now this is an operand and this is the whole operand. Now my answer will be, I'm just making this operator to come front. So plus a star b c. Okay, so this is what your prefix works. Fine. So we will see the next one. I'm telling you what is what, then I'll go for some evaluations and all. Okay, so next comes your postfix. This is also called as the reverse Polish notation. Okay, since the term itself tells you I'm having a postfix as a term, so my operator obviously comes at the end. I won't be using operator anywhere, only at the end I'll be representing in the postfix. Okay, so I'm having infix, prefix and a postfix. Okay, so I'll take this particular infix to convert this into a postfix. Okay, so I'm having only one plus, so I'll write the operand first. 2 and 3 are my operand and plus is my operator. So this suits my syntax. Fine. Next, the same way, PQ minus. Okay, here again I will follow the rules actually. So by rule, what I have to do actually, I have to take my arithmetic operator. I'm sorry, I have to take my star first. Okay, so what happens now? A will be there, a plus, so it's a postfix, b c star. Okay, now this is an operand and this is an operand. Perform the postfix for this. Now it will be A, B, C, star, then comes your plus. Okay, first operand, second operand, and my operator. Fine. So this is a way we'll be representing or converting an infix to prefix or infix to postfix. Okay. Prefix in the sense I'll be having my operator first. In postfix, my operator will be at the end. In infix, my operator will be at the middle. Fine. So now we will be seeing with a bracket. That's nothing but the same thing I've given in a bracket to make you understand more. Okay. So if I'm going to give a bracket, I will know that I have to do this first. Okay, for prefix I'm having this star before, the same process I have done here, and then just remove the bracket. The same for postfix, a bracket is given here, so I made an postfix for this, and then I made a postfix for the whole thing. Fine, the same thing, but in by using the bracket I have represented in this slide, particular slide, to make you understand clear. Fine. So next one is evaluation. Okay, so how to evaluate it? Well, evaluation is nothing but how to give the values. If you're going to give the values, how the process goes on. That is what called as evaluation of prefix or postfix. Okay. First, I will go for the evaluation of the postfix expression. Okay. Then I'll go for the prefix. Fine. So you can see the example. I've taken a bigger expression. You can see like A star B plus C star D. I'm giving a bracket. So many brackets are there. Fine. And minus C. That is what my full expression. Fine. So now I'm going trying to do a postfix. So this is what my I have to clear this bracket first. Fine. So now I'm performing a postfix for this particular A star B. A is an operand, B is an operand, and star is my operator. Therefore, A B star. Fine. Next, I'll go for my second bracket. Okay, bracket has a priority, so I'm going for a second bracket. We have C star D. So I'm applying a postfix for this. So C D star. Okay, it's over now. So now what I will do, then I'm having a bracket. So inside this bracket, I'm having a plus. Okay, now this will act as a first operand and this will act as a second operand, and my operator is going to be plus. So my first operand, second operand, and my plus sign, since I'm applying my postfix here. Fine. So now what happens? The whole thing, this whole thing will be the first operand. Am I correct? Yeah. I'll take this, not this. The whole thing will be the first operand. Okay. And E will be the second operand. Okay. Then comes my operator minus. Okay, so I'll write like the whole thing. I'll be writing my first operand, my second operand, and my minus. Since I applied a postfix, now I'm removing the bracket for a clear representation. Fine. So I'm getting an answer like A B star C D star plus E minus. This is a step-by-step way of processing or evaluating the and postfix expression from an infix. Fine. So now we will try to give some values for my expression. Okay, so this is what my expression. I'm going to substitute some values for it. Okay, now we will see how this value is going to get me an answer. Fine. So I'm taking like 2 3 instead of A and B. For A goes for 2, for B it's going to be 3, C 5, D 4, and E is going to have a value called as 9. So now I'm going to apply for it. Okay, since we know the syntax is going to be operand 1, operand 2, and then comes my operator. So this is what my first block of postfix expression. Okay, so 2 3 star. Fine. Now I'm going to perform this 2 3 star. So I'll be performing an arithmetic operator for my, I'm going to perform a multiplication operator for my 2 and 3. So I'm getting an answer 6. Okay, this box is over now. I'm replacing this by 6. Now comes 5 4 star. Okay, now I have to do this. Okay, this has an operator 1, operand 1, operand 2, and an operator star. Okay, 5 into 4 gives me the answer 20. Okay, I'm continuing with the others. So plus 9. Now this will be the perfect format of my postfix and operand and an operator. So 6 plus 20 will be having 26. So now 9 minus, again I'm having the same format, and operand operator. So 26 minus 9 gives me an answer 17. So this is a way I'll be evaluating the postfix expression with the values. Okay, so we have seen how to convert an infix to a postfix, okay, and how this evaluation goes on. Fine. So we will see how it goes to have this stack concept. Okay, so we saw this particular application will be having our stack concept. Okay, so here I'm creating an empty stack. We will see how it goes. Fine. So this is what my value. I have written a pseudocode for evaluation. I'm not writing a program here. Again, I have written a pseudocode for this evaluation. Fine. So here you can see I'm evaluating a postfix expression. Fine. A function has been created. Okay, I'm passing an expression, the whole expression here. Fine. So I'm just writing in a simple words. So first create a stack with a name called as yes. Stack has been created. Okay. Now I'm trying to traverse from the first expression to till the end. For this I'm using this for loop. Okay, for I is equal to 0 to length of my expression minus 1. You know what's the use of this for loop. Okay, then I'm having an if condition here. So what I will tell here is, if my expression of I is an operand, make a push. Okay, if I get an operand, give a push. So if my first one is my operand, then I will make a push inside my stack. Okay, if I don't have an operand, what I have to do it actually, if there is an operator, okay, make a pop. Fine. If there is an operator, make a pop operation from the stack. Okay, then what I have to pop it out actually, I have to pop it out the operands inside my stack. Okay, I'll work it and I'll tell you. I'm just telling you the flow of my pseudocode. Okay, if I get a operand, put into the stack. Okay, when I getting an operator, pop the operands from the stack. Okay, and perform the operations and put inside this result, and again push this result inside the stack. Okay, we will see with an I will just try with this particular expression itself. Okay, we can have 2. 2 is an operand. I have made a push operation. Again, my next one is going to be the 3. Okay, 3 is an operand. Again, I'm going to make a push. Okay, now comes the star. Okay, since I'm going to have a star is not an operator, it's going to be an operator. If it is an operator, gets inside the else part, I need to pop the operand 2 and operand 1. So this is my operand 2 and this is my operand 1. I just making a pop. Okay, pop means I just removed from here. Okay, after removing it, perform this arithmetic operations. Okay, so what will be there actually? 2 into 3, 6 will be my answer. So now push the result inside the stack once again. So now my answer will be 6. This will be removed. Okay, now go and check for the next one. So my next one is till star, it's over. Okay, now I'll be checking my 5. 5 is an operand. Yeah, 5 is an operand, gets inside the stack. And next one is 4. 4 is also an operand, so gets inside this stack. Next one is my star. Star is an operator, so what I will do here is I have to just make a pop here. Okay, since I found an operator, I have to make a pop here. Pop the operand 2 and operand 1. So here this will be the operand 2 and will be the operand 1. So 4 into 5. I'll be having an answer called as 20. So push the result again back to the stack. So this will be replaced by 20. Okay, next comes your, again I'm having a plus. Okay, if there is a plus, I have to do again a pop operation. Now this 20 will be the operand 2 and the 6 will be the operand 1. Okay, so 20, what operator I'm having actually? Plus. So 20 plus 6 is going to be giving an answer called as 26. Now push the result into the stack. So now I'll be getting an answer called as 26. 6 is also gone from the stack. Okay, now I'm having the next one as 9. Since I'm having an operand, push into the stack. I'm writing here, right? So 26, after 26, I'll be having an operand 9. Okay, next I'm having an minus. Okay, since I'm having an operator, pop the operands. Now this will be the operand 2 and this will be the operand 1. So I'm performing 26 minus 9. Okay, so my result is going to be 17. So I have to push this result into my stack. So I'll be having an answer inside my stack as 17 at last. Okay, so return the top of the stack. So only one value will be there inside my stack, so that will be pointing the top. Fine. So this is the evaluation process of this postfix expression. Okay, so only two things we have to keep in mind while writing the pseudocode or writing a program of it. If I get an operand, push into the stack. Okay, if I get an operator, pop two operands from the stack and perform the operations. Okay, and put the result back into the stack. Fine. So at the last, I'll be getting only one value inside my stack. Okay, so this is the way we'll be evaluating the postfix. That's all for today's class. Fine. So we have learned how to implement an stack using my list concept. Okay, I have taught you the push operation and pop operation of the stack using this list. Then we saw this infix, postfix, and prefix. So you know how to convert an infix into a prefix or a postfix. Fine. Then we saw only the evaluation of the postfix expression alone. Okay, we saw the pseudocode for it. Try to convert the pseudocode into a C language programming. Fine. So that's all. So now it's your session. So can you give me the answer for this, guys? We have only 1 more minute left. Yeah, I got the answers from you. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, it's a correct answer. My question is, consider a linked list implementation of stack. Which of the following node is considered as the top of the stack? Obviously, my first node will be considered as the top of my stack. Okay, so give me the answer for the second one. Yeah, I'm getting so many answers. Good, guys. So the answer is going to be C. So the type of expression which operator succeeds its operands. So it's going to be a postfix expression. Fine, superb. Next one. Just avoid this A and all. No, something has gone wrong. Yeah. Now give me the answer. No, it's a repetition. Just avoid this. Go for the last one. Prefix form of an infix. This is a wrong one. Okay, it's a repeated one. I made a mistake. So you can just see this alone. I have given an infix expression. Convert this infix into a prefix. You can just do it in 1 second fast. While doing it, consider the order of precedence of the operators, priority of the operators. You can just unmute and tell because we are running time, I think so. I don't know to take your break time also. Yeah, I'm getting the answer. The answer is B or C. It's not B. It's not B. Yeah, the answer is C. We will see how it works in a short way. Like P plus Q, I'll be writing in a shorter way. So P plus Q minus. So first is my my multiplication. So I'll be writing as star R T. Okay. Then I'll be doing my plus and minus. So since comes my plus, so plus P Q minus star R and T. Okay, and then again I'm having this is an operand and this is an operand, so minus comes first, so minus plus, sorry for my writing, okay, PQ star RT. So my answer is going to be the third one, C. Fine. So thank you, students. That's all. So do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can just post me. Any questions?